Welcome back to Daytime, everyone. I am proud to say that in a couple of weeks I will be going to San Diego, California, watching my last kid, Mackenzie, not my youngest, but she's the last one to graduate from college. Very proud of her. All three of them made it through, and we are proud of all of them. It wasn't easy for them. It certainly wasn't easy for Nancy and me either.
Money's just not flying out of the wallet like it used to.
No.
And while Dave here has completed the task, many others are just beginning to make plans for college education. To help put things into perspective and give us some pointers, we are joined by college planning specialist, certified financial planner, Ken Albert. He is the author of Finding the Right Fit, the Ultimate Guide to College. Good to have you here.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Ken,
Thanks for having me.
You've been through this, you know.
Yes.
2 daughters.
Yes.
Okay. And you made them go through this program.
Well, yeah, I'm in the business, so I kind of, they had to do it. And but the good news there is they're actually going to have their bachelor's within 3 years.
Now,
so it's very helpful.
Now, did that include summer school? And what's the secret to getting through a 4-year degree in 3 years?
The real secret is starting with the end game in mind. And that's to do career counseling first so that the student is absolutely crystal clear on what types of careers and work they're most naturally suited for. And when you start with that, then the student has a very, very clear direction, and it just helps them to get through the process much, much quicker.
So they didn't change their major like I did 3 times.
We had that go on, too.
It's fairly normal. It happens to a lot of students.
Sure.
Now, you say you've got some tips here. First one is, did you know? Did you know what?
Well, the first one really shocks parents. 2 out of 3 students actually do not graduate within 4 years for their bachelor's degree, and that's the one that usually, when parents hear about that, they fall out of their chair.
A little scary, right?
Yes, sir.
And then the second tip there was what?
60% of the kids?
Will actually go to more than one school to get their bachelor's.
That happened in our household.
I think you'll see that that's happening. So they're changing majors, changing schools, and that takes time and money.
What do you think about like community college for the first couple of years? Is that a smart thing to do?
It can be for the right student, and I think that's fine. Certainly, a lot of times that's going to be a financial strategy, but here's the key. You want to have the end game in mind. So if we're going to start out at the community college, we still need to know what are we going to do from there. Which colleges are going to, and some states will have better articulation agreements or will allow credits to transfer more easily than other schools. So the key is if you're going to start there, you have a challenge. And if the ultimate goal is to get the bachelor's degree, you want to have a very, very clear plan. Okay, what's next?
Might want to do that in reverse. Get the bachelor's degree first, and then if you want to go to a college, do that second.
That does happen, and usually people say, well, now I'm going to change careers. Right. There's where the career planning part comes in, and now they have to go back and retool.
Common mistakes.
Yeah, let's go. We have another graphic, I think, about common mistakes.
Well, there's the first one, and again, that's the focus. So the way to handle college is you start, and what families tend to do is they'll focus on what do you want to major in, and what college you want to get into. What we have our kids do is let's start with their career planning first. Once that's under the belt and they can articulate, when the student understands, okay, here's the types of work that I'm more naturally suited for, then we look at majors and then we take the next step into the colleges. So selecting the college is actually the last step in the process.
Should you push your kid into a particular field, or should you really let them follow their heart?
You got to let them follow their heart, and that's what the career counseling is about. And some parents, here's the trap for parents. We raise our kids, they're teenagers, so we tend to say, well, we know them better than they know themselves. And parents might be right, but that doesn't matter. The only thing that's really, really going to count is what the student can fully understands about themselves, because that's what they're going to follow through with.
Financial aid, it's out there. You just have to know how to get it, right?
Yes, and the best thing there is fit. So ideally what we like to have our students do is you'd like to be in the top 25% of the academic profile that the college is looking for. When you do that, you're going to put yourself in the best competitive environment, and that many times leads to money. And where's the scholarship money? It's at the colleges themselves. That's where the big money is.
But every year you've got to fill out the FAFSA,
right?
For the kid, and boy, that's a nightmare every time.
It's a very convoluted, it's a tortured calculation that they make, and that's where the government is basically coming back to you and saying, hey, tell me your income and your assets for both the parent and the student, and then they're going to smush that into that convoluted formula, and they're going to say, here's what the government thinks you should pay per year toward college. And for most folks, when they look at that number, they're not going to like it.
College is expensive, everyone.
Yes,
there's something else to keep in mind. The book is called Finding the Right Fit, the Ultimate Guide to College. Ken Albert, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you here. Stick around. More Daytime coming up.